The United Kingdom awoke to an eerie silence. At first, it was just a whisper, an unconfirmed bulletin from an anonymous source. But by mid-morning, the BBC interrupted regular programming with a solemn announcement. King Charles III had died unexpectedly in his private residence at Balmoral. No cause was given. No details offered. Just a old, flat statement. The king passed peacefully in his sleep. But peace was the last thing rippling through the halls of Buckingham Palace. Behind the black-draped gates, chaos had already taken root. High-ranking aides were reportedly scrambling to control the narrative, silencing leaks, and locking down all internal communications. The official statement had been delayed by nearly 6 hours. 6 hours in which conflict accounts had begun to emerge. Some said the king collapsed after a heated phone call. Others whispered about a secret meeting gone wrong. One insider even claimed he was found with clenched ed fists and signs of struggle, and in the midst of it all, the two ons, once brothers, now rivals, had both arrived at the palace. The final call and the first suspicions. Sources close to the royal household confirm that just one night before his death, King Charles made an unplanned call to Prince Harry. The tone was tense, the words careful. Though no one knows exactly what was said, one courtier, who overheard the conversation from an adjacent room, described it as raw, emotional, and final. What followed in the early morning hours remains a mystery. Medical staff was summoned discreetly, but by the time they arrived, it was too late. Charles was gone, but questions soon arose. Why had the king been alone? Why were all the security cameras in his private quarters conveniently under maintenance that night? And perhaps most disturbing, why did the palace insist on cremation within 24 hours, breaking royal tradition? The brothers reunite and collide. The news of the king's death should have united the family in mourning #ing. Instead, it ignited a silent war. Prince William, now heir apparent, immediately stepped into the spotlight, calm, composed, and already speaking of continuity and duty. Yet even as the #old watched him grieve, something colder stirred behind his eyes. Some say he had already begun planning his coronation. Meanwhile, Prince Harry landed in London under heavy security, avoiding all press. Though the palace claimed he had been personally invited to attend private mourning rites, sources say Harry was locked out of key family meetings, denied access to documents, and told bluntly, why you no longer belong in this circle. That didn't stop him. Harry, reportedly armed with his own legal counsel and private investigators, demanded a full inquest into the king's death. He accused certain palace aides of covering up critical information, and even hinted that the timing of Charles's passing was far too convenient. Behind closed doors, the air turned electric. For the first time in modern history, the royal succession was no longer guaranteed, it was being contested. A throne at war. In hushed tones, royal insiders began to speak of a document, an amendment to the line of succession, rumored to have been signed by King G. Charles shortly before his death. That document, if real, could change everything. Some say it named Harry as the king's personal choice, bypassing William entirely. Others dismiss it as fabrication, but the palace has refused to confirm or deny its existence. As pressure mounts, public opinion fractures. Protests have erupted outside royal residences. Hashtags like #Justice for Charles and #Not My King trend worldwide. Supporters of William call for stability. Supporters of Harry call for truth. And all the while, Queen Camilla remains silent, seen only once, veiled in black, stepping into a waiting car. #at really happened #in Balmoral. Was King Charles a victim of natural causes? Or did the crown itself become too heavy to carry? With no official autopsy, no press conference, and no answers, the world is left only with speculation. Some believe this is simply a tragic chapter in royal history, Others believe it is a palace coup. Hi #Deedenby. One thing is certain, the king is dead, but the